Alright everyone, I'm rushing to Githurai 45 and it seems like I'm not the only one who is in a hurry. It's evidence you don't have to have wings to fly. Well, we want to explore this small city-like neighborhood of Githurai, popularly known as Githurai 45, and this is where we exit the highway as our town is in vicinity. I don't know whether to refer to it as a town, a neighborhood, or an estate. You be the judge. Well, we want to explore it deeper. Actually, we will go to the farthest corners of this neighborhood. So brace yourself for a first-class tour of this very famous neighborhood in Kenya. Well, this is the famous Githurai roundabout, which is quite popular with politicians. It is not that spacious, but trust me, if there's a political rally, you'll see a mammoth of people here. In fact, some of the biggest political rallies of 2022 general elections happened here, right at this spot. And I don't know why politicians chooses this place. But political pundits say that Githurai 45 is the gateway to the Mount Kenya region, which is one of the vote-rich regions in the country. And so to prove your political prowess in that region, you have to pull up a massive rally here. I don't know how true is that. You can tell us on the comment section. Anyway, enough with politics. I swear we do have enough problems to mind. Let's leave politics to politicians. And ours is to explore Githurai 45. And we are just starting. In fact, I'll be telling you more about the number 45, which is in the name of the hood, where it came from, and what does it stand for. We will also explore the town side and the residential area, which means we'll have to go deeper and see how the people live, how businesses are faring, and what is the status of the infrastructure. Is it a developed neighborhood? Is it a slum? Or is it a middle-class estate? Wait and see. Anyway, I'm still around the town area. It's quite notorious with traffic, but I'm certain this road will take me deeper into the neighborhood. It is on a Sunday. I had to come here on a Sunday. I was told traffic is heavier on weekdays. And mind you, it's both human and vehicle traffic. Well, the market is on my left, which is also quite popular. They have a fresh food market, which you can literally find anything. We might consider passing by there on our way back. But in the meantime, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. Our business is going to every village, town, or city, whether small or big, and telling unique stories about the people and the place. Remember, every village has a story, and so kindly make sure you subscribe. It's absolutely free, but it means the world to us. Anyway, back to Githurai 45. It's a beautiful sunny day. Actually, I'm enjoying myself here. It's around 10:30 in the AM on a Sunday. You would even think it's around 2 p.m. since the sun is super hot, but it's January. We always have plenty of sunlight here in Africa around this month. Well, Githurai is one of the neighborhoods in Nairobi with a lot of people. Actually, I'm informed that it functions as the city's bedroom, where most people prefer working in the city, but lives here. There is also a huge number of people who lives here and work here, because Githurai 45, as you can see, has developed to be this independent big town. Well, I can see that new buildings are upcoming on both sides of the road, and that tells you something about the area's population. It is still growing, despite being at its peak. I have also noted something about the furniture business in the area. There are a lot of furniture shops here, But I don't know whether you have noted that almost all of them are selling beds. Anyway, this is the railway station right in front, which is still functioning. And remember, this is the old railway line, which was built by the British colonial government in early 1900s. In fact, I'm told that you can still board a train here to the city of Nairobi on a daily basis. It's quite affordable. There is another one that goes all the way to Nanyuki town, but I'm told it goes on a weekly basis. And so if you are an adventurous kind, you can hop on that one in one of these fine weekends and go and enjoy yourself in Nanyuki town, which actually I'm told it is a super warm town that is right next to Mount Kenya, which is an irony by itself since the area is the coldest in the country. Anyway, that's a story for another day. One of these fine days, I'll be taking you there. But in the meantime, let's have a good time here in Githurai. I can see another furniture shop here on my left. And just like any other, he is selling nothing else but beds. No sofa sets, no tables, no cupboards, just beds. I can also see another one on my right. Same story. Beds, beds, beds. It seems like beds are in a very high demand here. I don't know the connection, but it is evidence selling beds is one of the most viable businesses in Githurai 45. I told you every village has a story, and a unique one for that matter. You just need to open your eyes and see. Just see for yourself. On my left, behold, it's a bed's kingdom. Well, if you know the story behind the bed menace in Githurai 45, you can tell us on the comment section below, and we will appreciate. Well, personally, I believe it's because of the high population and high density. Remember, Githurai 45 is just a small area geographically, but has a super high population density. In fact, it is only 22.4 kilometers squared, the entire area, but has a population density of 7,964 people living in a square kilometer, which is quite something, meaning that you have a lot of people squeezed in a very small area. And when it gets to such a point, luxury is not an option. You just need a space to sleep and go to work the following day. Actually, according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, Githurai 45 has a total population of 178,291 people. Such a huge number. In fact, in some area, that's a whole constituency. In fact, in a county like Lamu, which is the smallest in the country as far as the population is concerned, it has a total population of 143,920 people. Meaning that Githurai 45 is more populated than Lamu County with more than 35,000 people. Well, out of 170,000 people living here in Githurai 45, 86,442 are males, while 91,844 are females. Where the gender gap is also quite something. It is a place I wouldn't mind living. In fact, there are roughly 6,000 more women than men, which is a normal distribution in an African society. I don't know why the number of females tend to be a little bit higher than that of their male counterparts. Sociologists can tell us why. In fact, I'm told that Githurai 45 is the only place in Kenya that has a women-only university. Yes, you heard me right. Kireri Women University is in the neighborhood. I will definitely take you there if times allow. In the meantime, we are getting deeper and deeper into the neighborhood. In fact, I want to take a right turn to get more deeper. We want to see how people live out here. And one thing I'm noting for sure is that this is definitely a concrete jungle. There is no single piece of land that is not occupied. It seems quite peaceful from where I sit. In fact, there are no people moving around, only a few. But maybe that is because it is on a Sunday. Most people are probably in churches. Remember, in Kenya, almost 90% of the total population are Christians. And also remember that most people consider Sundays as their off day. And so basically, it is a family day. Only Mr. Lone Traveler is out here alone and having a time of his lifetime. But one thing I have noted out here is that the roads are not so good. They definitely need some upgrading. In fact, considering the number of citizens living here, such services are quite essential. Well, it seems like there's no way through ahead. The road is closed. There are some stones placed strategically, but that makes me more curious. I must see what is being prohibited ahead. A typical Kenyan spirit. In fact, I'm told that if you want to make something popular in Kenya, just ban it, and eventually you will have everyone looking for it. Well, it seems like the road is getting narrower the more I move. Definitely the person who had placed stones on the road had a valid reason. You can see our road has come to an end, and on my right, I can see the road is not passable by any means. In fact, there's a lot of water, which is not a common thing, being on a January, a hot one. Well, to be specific, I'm not a geologist, but by the look of things, this used to be a swamp. You can see the kind of plants that grows in a swamp. There is also a not so godly dump site on the site. There is nothing nice about it. But let me get out of this place. It seems kinda lonely. I can also see some beautiful murals on my right. The owner of this mansion on my right must be so into art. Such a beautiful wall. Well, I want to take a right turn to explore the neighborhood more. But the roads here are quite narrow. You have to be careful. And remember, the narrowest road size in Kenya, that is, in terms of width, is 9 meters. That is according to the national government. And going by how narrow these roads are, it is evident that neighbors have done justice to these roads, some ungodly things, which we will not mention here, for national cohesion purposes and peaceful coexistence. But it is a common practice in most urban centers, especially in Nairobi and in Kiambu counties, since I'm told land is a bit scarce and spaces are in high demand. Well, the road here is in its worst state. I'm trying to see how I can maneuver around. In fact, I wonder how bad the situation will be when the rain season comes. In fact, the only question I have is where all this water is coming from on a dry season. Well, I don't know whether you are aware that this is in Kiambu County, Ruiru constituency, to be specific. Yes, a huge chunk of Githurai 45 is in Kiambu County. Actually, I'm told that most people are confused about the boundary between Nairobi and Kiambu counties in this part of the world. But I'm informed that the main road, that is Thika Superhighway, serves as the boundary. In fact, at Githurai roundabout, the place where we started the video, on your right, that is Nairobi County, and it goes all the way to Githurai 44 and Zimmerman areas, while on your left, which is largely part of Githurai Market the area we are now, Kahawa Wendani and Kahawa Sukari, that is Kiambu County, which is one of the most populated counties in the country. Well, Githurai is also considered as part of the larger rural urban area, making Ruiru the fourth largest urban center in the country. And of course, you can see that that position is well earned. We've been moving since we started, and all we can see are blocks and blocks and blocks of apartments. Please continue watching the scenic neighborhood. I'll be back with more numbers, especially on the real estate segment, the price of land, renting prices. I have some really quite interesting numbers on Githurai 45, and I'll also be giving you the source of the name and its meaning. Well, we are still having some good time in this kingdom of beds. And actually, I'm told there's a place called Mwihoko, which is one of the neighborhoods here in Githurai 45. I don't know whether or not I managed to get there. And so if you come from this area or you are quite familiar with Githurai 45, tell me on the comment section down below whether I made it to Mwihoko, and if not, how close was I? Well, as you can see, Githurai 45 is a metropolitan area, and trust me, almost every tribe, not only in Kenya, but in East Africa, is represented here in one way or the other. Well, I'm also told that a majority of the dwellers here are Kikuyus, followed by Kambas. Well, there's an old-timer here who wants to cross the road. Let's give him time. Anyway, this is a railway crossing. The station is on my left, meaning that all these people are coming from the station, going to only God knows where. Anyway, I was telling you that a majority of the dwellers in Githurai 45 are Kikuyus, and that has influenced a lot of things, including politics, culture, and real estate. And that takes us straight to the real estate segment. Well, before coming here, I quickly searched on the internet, and there are no such many options as far as buying land in Githurai 45 is concerned. And I'm sure you can tell why. The writing is on the wall. Almost every plot is developed, and so it gets a little difficult to get an empty plot, which means that if you are an investor or a real estate developer and you are determined to invest in Githurai, the only possible option is to buy a developed plot with probably an old building. Well, demolish it and make a room for a new one. Anyway, I saw 100 by 100 residential plot here in Githurai 45 going for 14 million Kenya shillings. I also saw another one going for 15 million Kenya shillings. So there's still hope. And remember, 100 by 100 is a quarter of an acre, so you can do your maths. I also noted that land is also plenty further north, that is in Mwihoko area. In fact, I saw an eighth of an acre, which is 50 by 100, going for 5,500,000 Kenya shillings. And another one in the same area, going for 2,500,000 Kenya shillings. And its measurement was 50 by 100. It is quite an expensive area, I tell you, as far as buying land is concerned. Well, in terms of renting apartments, I realized that this is one of the most affordable area around Nairobi. In fact, I saw a bedsitter, which is a studio apartment, going for only 3,500, that is per month. I also saw a one-bedroom apartment going for 8,000 and a two-bedroom going for 14,000 Kenya shillings. Well, that's just a sample. There are more pricey apartments in the area based on their location and their condition. Well, I don't know the exact source of the name Githurai, although I'm told that Kikuyu language uses the word to refer to humans behind. Well, I don't know how true is that. Maybe the deeper Kikuyu. Well, let me leave it that. As I leave Githurai 45, it was such a ride. I enjoyed it. And if you have managed to watch the video this far, it means that you somehow like what we are doing. So kindly consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent. Also like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible. And also smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you will be among the first few people to be notified. Also, feel free to leave a comment. Tell us what do you know about Githurai 45 or what you have heard about the hood, and we'll appreciate. Thank you.